Hey, Cooter. Joe, check this out. There's anywhere but here, man, on this here podcast.
Oh, I like me some podcasts, man.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about anywhere but here.
What's anywhere but here? Anywhere but here in Mississippi?
No, man, anywhere but here over in England.
Hey, we ain't in England.
I know, but that's where the England's from.
What?
Hey, Cletus, remember when we went and saw that movie about the wars in the stars and they had like lightsabers and stuff like that? Well, these people here talk about things we like.
Really?
I guarantee.
Well, hot diggity damn. What we waiting for?
Anywhere but here podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode. What is it? No. Oh fuck. Welcome back to Anywhere But Here. Sorry, we were talking through the intro there, and then there wasn't enough time to think about what we were supposed to be doing. Oh dear. Well, hi.
Hello.
You can find us on abhpod.com, where there is an Amazon banner where you can pay for all your stuff through that, and we get a bit of a kickback. That's where the shows are. That's where Anywhere But Here is, as well as the Tom and Joe Show and Shipped High and Transit,
yes,
which you should all go and subscribe to on
iTunes.
Exactly, as well as Stitcher.
Yeah.
And anywhere else that you get your
podcast. Pocket Cast is another one. That's a good one. I mean, you can watch us on YouTube with our new light setup and stuff.
True, yeah.
Which has made
so much difference.
All it's doing is just burning holes in our retinas while we're looking at the
we're going to go
light
blind as well as deaf through doing this hobby of ours.
I'm sorry, I'm stroking a dog down here. Yeah, that's youtube.com/ABH podcast, by the way.
Where you might be able to see a dog's head every now and again.
Yeah. You can communicate with us on facebook.com/ABH pod.
You can, or on Twitter @ABH pod, including you can find all of us on there.
Yeah, we do.
And all our pod pals.
Yes, pod pals.
Yes.
#pod pals, and you can find everyone.
Yeah.
Did we cover which number episode it was?
No, we didn't. I was going to ask our special guests.
Yeah.
We have some special guests in the studio today. Bill and Ted. Well, we're not going to go on with the rest of the recording unless you know what number this episode is. So, what number is it?
69, dudes!
Very well done. They can project, can't they, from over there?
Yeah.
They can really project.
It's almost as if they were plugged directly into the board.
Almost. But they were right. It's episode 69, and we thought we'd make
that joke.
If not a sexy joke, then a geeky joke.
Yeah.
That's it now.
I think we're done. Yeah, it kind of flew by that intro, didn't it? This episode just to make that joke. Bye.
Yep.
We're done.
I'd love it if we'd done that. That would have been really funny.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you? You said you had some bits.
Yeah, I've got some bits. I'm aware that it has been mentioned on podcasts with more listeners than we have. So you may have heard this before, but some dumb cunt from the UK
awesome
wanted to go on to Big Brother.
Oh,
yeah. Her name's Josie Cunningham. Yes, Josie Cunningham. And yeah, she's a cunt, basically. We're going to follow on from Drunk Geek's lead and just continue with the cunting.
Yes.
She wanted to go on Celebrity Big Brother, but then she got pregnant. And herein lies the story. I'm going to read from... there's only 2 websites I could find a decent story about it from, and it was the Metro or the Mail Online. So
awesome.
I've gone for the Mail Online because it's a fucking tome.
And it has a fancier logo.
Well, yeah. And the Daily Mail have really gone into depth on her entire background before this instance. Like, it's almost like it's got a tone of condescension and derision.
That's not like them.
But also it's like a chronicling of her life. It's almost as though they're in on it and they're kind of advertising the fact.
They're her management or something.
Yeah. I'd like to...
They're getting her name out there a bit more.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, the headline itself is massive. A respectable family, 8 GCSEs, yet now the girl who got a boob job on the NHS wants to abort her baby so she can star in Big Brother. Can a woman sink any lower in search of fame?
And that's a headline.
That's a headline. Sounds like a feature article to me.
Yeah, it does really, doesn't it? And in that title was the main...
Was the main part, yeah, which we'll get onto. Now, who's the journalist on this? Barbara Davies. As a child growing up in the neat street of semi-detached houses in Leeds, Josie Cunningham was a cheerful, chubby-cheeked young girl with a tomboyish love of football.
Right.
Certainly neighbours who once watched her playing on the drive outside her home, grinning beneath the fringe which skimmed the top of her blue-green eyes, now find it hard to equate that little girl with the fake, tanned, heavily made-up wannabe glamour model that 23-year-old Cunningham is today.
You pick them up and you drop them straight back down.
They remember a sporty child with ambitions of serving in the Royal Navy, a dream which she came so close to fulfilling after securing 8 GCSEs. I think you need slightly more than that to get into the... Well, maybe not.
It depends what you want to do.
Yeah. Her hard-working, loving parents, Lisa, a retail manager, and Graham, a heavy machinery operator, brought her up to believe that if she put her mind to it, she could be whatever she wanted. Swept up in Britain's all-consuming celebrity culture, however, what Cunningham wanted to be was famous. Today, her transformation from girl next door to reality TV monster is almost complete. I
think reality TV monster is probably quite accurate for most people that go this method of getting fame.
It's true. It's it's not good. Oh dear. Yes.
Sorry, I'm reading along with you. So
Having already become notorious thanks to the NHS-funded breast enhancement she underwent last year as she attempted to launch her modelling career, the single mother of 2 has sunk to new depths in her bid to snatch a place in the limelight. Yesterday, she shockingly announced that she will abort her latest pregnancy in the hope of securing a place on the next series of the reality TV show Big Brother.
Yeah. No, does it say, it hasn't said yet, but they say her latest pregnancy because she has actually
got 2 children.
Got 2 children already.
Yeah, although whether or not she actually looks after them is a question of content.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's a bit of a twat.
Cunt.
Yeah, basically.
So,
I suppose we should put in now that if you're offended by the word cunt, probably
maybe we'll try and find that little clip we used to have.
Yeah.
That we had before.
That's right.
Yeah, she's going to abort a baby to get on Big Brother.
I mean, how low can you actually sink?
Yeah,
this is properly just horrific.
Yeah, she's not. No, I don't know. I'm just lost for words with these.
It's just it's insane how the celebrity culture makes people think and act just to try and get a little bit of infamy. So she says, I'm finally on the verge of becoming famous and I'm not going to ruin it now, Cunningham said. His 18-week pregnancy is already clearly visible.
18, is it? I don't even know the law in this country.
I'm not sure where it kind of...
I think 18 weeks seems like it's a bit too far.
It seems a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's 4 and a bit.
Well, yeah, because technically a pregnancy lasts, it's 40 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, so you're almost halfway.
40?
I don't know, you're the one who's
Yeah, because people go 40 weeks, that's 10 months. It's like, no, it's not, because some months,
have longer than others.
Yeah. So, yes, it's 4 lots, it's 10 lots of 4 weeks, yes. That doesn't make it 4 months, yeah. So it's 40 weeks.
So she's nearly halfway through. Mm-hmm. Which
seems a bit too late
to me,
especially when you're showing already. As well.
Yeah.
I mean, in special circumstances, you can.
Yeah, but generally it's kind of formed, and I don't really want to get into the abortion debate because it's a bit of a hot topic. But and I genuinely believe it's up to the individual. But if the reason you're aborting,
but only for the right reasons,
only if you've got about 3 brain cells in your head that fire simultaneously, like this person clearly doesn't have.
Well, she's got 8 GCSEs, Tom.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, this is a good point.
They were all E's and F's, which are passes these days, but she got them. Not that there's anything wrong with E's and F's.
No. So she said Channel 5 were keen to shortlist me when they found out. Then they found out I was pregnant. They went cold on me. That's when I started considering an abortion. After the operation, I will be going back to them and asking if they will still consider me.
Of course they will, because you're the cunt that aborted her baby to get on telly.
Last night, Channel 5 refused to comment on Cunningham's claims that she was being considered for the show and that they went cold or were reluctant to proceed because she was pregnant. Whatever the truth of the matter, the fact that she says she's willing to abort her baby at 18 weeks in the hope of appearing on a down-market reality show is shameful. It is a shameful new low. While critics have taken to social networking sites Twitter and Facebook to rail against her, Cunningham knows better than most that in modern Britain the fastest route to fame and fortune is controversy, even if this means becoming a public hate figure.
That is a key line, because now she said this, she's in the public eye.
Exactly.
So she doesn't have to go through with the abortion.
No,
now.
she's already kind of getting what she wants. She'll appear in
She'll have photo shoots. She'll be in OK magazine.
Yeah, now and
on the Sun.
Yeah,
on page
and I'm
3
sure that
because she's had a boob job, she'll get them out.
yeah, precisely. I'm sure she'll be in Nuts and whatever.
Yeah.
Although that's closing down, I heard.
I
Finally,
don't know.
Finally, lads magazines have kind of. I never saw the point in lads magazines anyway. In an age where the internet is there.
No.
You
I
know?
mean, yeah, like FHM when you're younger, when you're at school, 15, 16, you start buying FHM, which, you know, in some cases they do have some really interesting
In actual
articles
fact,
as
yeah,
well.
it's a lifestyle magazine. I mean, a lot of
With
people
pictures
with
of half-naked ladies.
Yeah.
I don't think there was ever any...
They never show boobs.
There was no nudity,
They never
was
show
there?
nipple.
No.
And
So, yeah, anyway. And they had some funny jokes. But, yeah, these days, I mean, if you're going to go and look at lifestyle things, you'll look on websites.
Yeah.
You'll look on the FHM website.
Yeah.
And you'll look on fucking Men's Health website and things like that. You won't...
you don't.
I mean, that's for the men, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, the women still buy Heat and they're still everywhere in the office.
Yeah,
like,
Liz every
bloody
morning
everywhere.
goes to Sainsbury's, buys herself a magazine to read at her lunchtime. It's like, you work at a computer.
Yeah, you could do this without.
You work at a
spending
computer,
money.
you have an iPhone. Why are you buying a magazine?
Some people find it comforting to have that, you know,
I
the
do like
actual
to turn
thing.
a
I
page,
prefer
yeah.
that.
I buy magazines occasionally too.
Yeah, so yesterday Cunningham was apologetic about her decision to put fame before the life of her unborn child, while her family remained resolutely silent. It would be easy to assume from Cunningham's appalling behaviour that she is the product of a broken home or dysfunctional family, yet she has no such excuses.
Oh,
Her parents, who are unmarried, but have been together for more than 20 years, were described to the Mail as decent, hard-working people by neighbours yesterday. By Cunningham's own admission, Mum and Dad have brought me up to believe I can achieve anything.
which was already said, so that's kind of a redundant comment.
When she left school at 16, her parents encouraged her to study accountancy and administration at college before supporting her as she began a career with the Royal Navy, learning to use radar and other equipment to detect threats to ships. See, this is a biography.
Yeah, it's just,
Do you know what I mean? Like, they've gone into so much detail.
they needed their 1,000, 2,000 words
I think so.
article,
It's a bit
and
mental.
they just wrote a biography on some dickhead
Yeah.
who said she was going to have an abortion. But is that a fucking tattooed on rosary around her wrist?
Yes, it is.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Yeah. Yet it seems Cunningham has already fallen into the same trap as countless other girls growing up in the UK's highly sexualised society and was obsessed with her looks and courting male attention. Old social networking sites she used during her teenage years reveal a flirtatious young woman striking pouting poses for the camera.
MySpace.
Yep. By the age of Bebo.
Oh, fucking
By the
Bebo.
age of
Nice
16,
ball.
she had adopted the usernames Frisky Forever and Frisky Bitch and bragged about her love of getting drunk. She posted several photographs of teenage boys in an album called Me Boys, M-I. Me.
My boys.
My boys.
M-I. My. Because, you know,
hell.
that's something I don't understand is when people just replace a letter
With another
instead
letter.
of just using the right letter.
Yeah. It doesn't shorten it anymore. It doesn't even make a different sound.
No. My boys.
My boys. My boys.
But it's like when people say later, but they put L, the number 8, T-E-R.
Yeah.
It's like you've just taken
no.
out an 8. So that says late-ater. It
L-
sounds like you're using speech jammer.
L8R.
Yeah.
Should have
L-8-R is
been it.
later, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ugh.
Fucking dickheads.
Despite the outwardly confident persona, Cunningham has continually painted a picture of herself as a victim, persecuted by bullies who tormented her over her looks. It was constant abuse, with people calling me ugly and telling me I had a big nose, she said last year.
And that's why she got her
That's why she got her
job on
boobs done on the NHS. Well, But it was, but it was abuse from boys about my flat chest that really got to me. They'd pin me on the ground and write the words "ironing board" on me in felt tip pen. Now, would they? Would they?
I don't know. I know people have said it.
But yeah, I remember growing up, people saying stuff like that about people.
Board.
Yeah. But
I think we're thinking of the same.
I think we
scenario,
probably are. Yeah. But I would imagine that no one has ever really
pinned someone
down and wrote it on their chest in felt tip pen. Cunningham claimed the ordeal forced her to take a year and a half out of school and that she was privately tutored at home. Oh, how bad for her.
Yeah, the thing is, I know this sort of stuff does happen.
Yeah.
And I know
no, of course.
I'm
not.
The boob jobs
yeah.
on the NHS.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she.
But this dickhead, you know.
Well, this is the thing, that the mail goes a little bit weirder here as well. Josie had problems with other girls at school when she was growing up. I know she didn't have many friends, and going into school was a problem for her. She received threats from the other kids. It was this teasing that she claimed led to her now infamous £4,800 NHS boob job last year. Yet photographs of her at the age of 16, uncovered by the Mail this week, show a fresh-faced teenager with a perfectly normal-looking 32A adolescent bust. That's a bit creepy. It's normal, isn't it? You know, a 32A adolescent bust.
It sounds creepy.
I mean, this is UK
but it's written
tabloids.
by a woman.
Yeah, true, but still, it's just a bit.
But just because she looked fresh-faced and fairly happy, and and the thing is, children, like teenagers, are horrible. Like 32A to a teenager, because some develop earlier. I know there was a girl I went to school with. She was well endowed, and definitely, especially compared to some of the others who didn't seem to have anything there. And because you get the odd one or two like that, to boys, everyone else is flat-chested, and they will make fun of the ones who are average.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because there's someone who's
overly endowed.
Blessed.
Yes.
So I can believe that. That people still would do that, even though she was average.
Yeah. Just weird. Despite being successful in her bid to join the Navy, her career was cut short at 17 by the birth of her first child, Harley, now 6. 3 years ago, she gave birth to another son, Frankie. So she wasn't doing badly for herself.
No, she got into the Navy, and then she got pregnant.
Yeah. She's no longer with the father, an ex-boyfriend who she says was a business negotiator.
Okay.
Unmarried at 20 with 2 young children, Cunningham turned her back on the chance of a conventional career and sought a shortcut to fame and fortune instead. But by her own admission, she idolised the likes of highly successful glamour model Katie Price, better known as Jordan, whose surgically enhanced looks have made her a multi-millionaire.
Who's got divorced again, by the way.
Oh, for the 4th time?
I think so, yeah.
With like 5 kids by 4 people or something ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, she's got one with Dwight York.
Yeah.
She
At
had
least
2
two
with
with
Peter Andre. Did she have one with this one?
I have no
And
idea.
then because she went out with Alex Reed, the MMA guy as well.
Yeah. They had a kid, didn't they?
No, they didn't have a kid.
Did they not? I don't know. She's got a
But
brood,
either way.
but yeah, not good. Cunningham was adamant that her looks were ruining her life, even insisting she couldn't be a proper mother because of the depression she was suffering. I tended not to go out much with them in case I had a panic attack, she said of her 2 young boys, who are now, it is believed, being cared for by her family.
While she... Yeah, I think probably being careful by her family while she chases the fame thing.
On her 22nd birthday last June, her GP referred her to a consultant at Leeds General Infirmary. She said she had no idea that the £4,800 operation she underwent would cause such outrage, but jumped at the chance to take the part in a topless shoot for a red-top newspaper, describing it as a real honour.
The Sun.
Yep.
So I didn't even realise she'd already been in there.
Yep.
So the problem is, why did the boob job cause outrage? How did the newspapers find out that some nobody had a $5,000 boob job on the NHS? Because she told them.
Fucking advertised it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it caused outrage. You could have got it done. Nobody would have been any wiser.
Yeah, no one would have known.
But the fact that you contacted the newspaper to tell them that you got your boob job on the NHS.
So don't be surprised when people are outraged.
Yeah, I think. Do I know someone who has, or did she go private in the end? I think she went private in the end. But no, actually, I went to college with someone who did.
Yeah, I think there's I'm sure there's a couple of girls in the office who have done.
What, on the NHS?
Yeah, at least one that I know of, and possibly a second.
Yeah, it's quite normal.
Yeah, it's
for people
quite.
to do it. It's body dysmorphia.
It's a cosmetic surgery to improve the quality of life or mental well-being. Yeah. She says, I was very deserving of my boob job. I've paid taxes since I was 15 years old.
Oh, you entitled bitch.
So have my mum and dad. We've paid into the system, and in my case, it was not just about cosmetic changes, it was about my peace of mind.
Do you pay taxes at 16?
15?
You do pay taxes?
No,
no, you don't pay taxes until
you're...
is it 16?
I think it is 16, yeah. And even then, the first X amount is tax-free.
Yeah, you're on a lower tax bracket, a lot lower. Because I mean, you're part-time anyway as well.
Yeah.
But it's fucking entitled.
At the same time, just a few miles away in Leeds, it was revealed that 2-year-old cerebral palsy sufferer Oliver Doherty had been refused funding for an operation which could have allowed him to walk.
That's bad timing.
Cunningham might have been expected to have felt shame about the uncomfortable disparity in their situations and slipped quietly into the shadows. Instead, she realised that by courting the outrage around her, she could increase her own profile.
Oh, she's just getting worse and worse.
She employed an agent who works with a handful of reality TV stars, Rob Cooper, to advise her on how to make money from appearing in down-market celebrity lads magazines. Fired up by the oxygen of publicity, Cunningham went further, posing half naked, her breast covered in sashes printed with the NHS logo, taunting her critics.
Oh my God.
What a complete bitch.
Bad taste.
Pouring more fuel on the fire, she then claimed...
Can the NHS not claim it back?
You'd think so.
Do you know what? You're a bit of a cunt, really. Give us the money back.
Pouring more fuel on the fire, she then claimed she wanted her implants removed. I was rushed into the decision to have them taken up to a 36 double D, and I don't feel very confident about them now. I want people to take me seriously and stop branding me the girl with the big NHS boobs.
But
you're the one who said that about yourself.
Don't call her the girl with the big NHS boobs. But do pose half naked with ribbons with the NHS logo plastered across your boobs.
It's mental, isn't it? This fucking woman. From now on, of course, she will be known as something far worse than that.
A cunt.
In January of this year, it was revealed that she had been working as an escort, claiming that she needed to date clients in order to save up for her breast reduction.
Prostitute.
Yeah. When she first discovered she was pregnant 3 months ago, she saw it as yet another opportunity to make money from interviews and photo shoots, despite admitting that one of her clients could be the father of the baby. So not even an escort, but one that doesn't use proper protection. Oh dear. Indeed, last month she took to Twitter to say, "Happy Mother's Day to all you mums out there. There's no better feeling than being a parent."
Was this before the abortion thing?
Yeah. This is during the pregnancy at which we're talking about at the moment.
Oh my God.
As recently as 9 days ago, she seemed to be embracing her pregnancy, proudly posting photos of her 12-week baby scan on social networking pages. At first, I thought, thank God the father's a footballer or a doctor and not a big issue seller, and they have money, she said yesterday.
So I only sleep with celebrities, I don't sleep with tramps.
Oh, and they pay too.
Yeah.
Suddenly I was pregnant and I could get free dental work on the NHS. So I got a tooth straightened for cosmetic reasons and it all seemed great. What a complete cow. Really?
I got my NHS card. Brilliant.
But then I started to think, I don't want to be famous for having a footballer's baby or for being the girl who had a kid by someone who paid for sex. I was excited at first, but as soon as I noticed I was getting bigger, that was it, she said. I realised it would be at least a year before I could do any glamour modelling if I went through with it, and nobody wants to see a naked pregnant lady.
There are people that do,
yes,
actually.
There are. People will disagree with my actions, they always do, but I don't care. There's so much in that.
It's like, I was happy about the pregnancy until I realised I was pregnant and I was going to start showing.
Oh, hold on, I won't be able to take sexy photos anymore.
I was happy about the pregnancy, and then I realised I would get bigger. But you've already had 2 kids, did you not?
You know what happens when you get pregnant, surely, unless you've forgotten somehow that you have these kids that your parents now look after anyway.
Of course, I forgot I had to fill out a questionnaire, and then it just went out of my head.
You know, some information goes in and some goes straight out, doesn't it, to replace it? Yeah. The whole thing is like not happy with having small boobs, gets big boobs, isn't happy with big boobs, gets a reduction.
Yeah.
Starts sleeping around, gets pregnant, loves being pregnant,
Has a tooth straightened.
then doesn't like being pregnant anymore, wants to go on TV, has abortion. What? This
I'm
person,
sure there's logic
honestly,
there somewhere.
I think she needs help. Cunningham, who has continued to smoke and drink throughout her pregnancy, still believes in her own maternal skills.
Mother of the Year award. Oh,
I'm a good mum, she claimed yesterday, seemingly unaware of the terrible irony of her statement. But this is something I've wanted for so long.
I quite like the angle this report has taken, to be fair.
But this is something I've wanted for so long. I can't give up my big break for anything. I've also had loads of other offers to further my career, and I'm not willing to give them up because I'm pregnant. This weekend, she insisted, this time next year I won't have a baby, except for the two. You remember you've got 2 kids?
Yeah.
Instead, I'll be famous driving a bright pink Range Rover and buying a big house. Nothing will get in my way.
A tree, hopefully.
Yeah. How ironic it would be if by aborting her baby, Josie Cunningham has now made herself so distasteful that even the reality television producers she is so desperate to woo refuse to associate with
they won't, because they're horrible people.
They are. They're
TV
exploitative
producers.
bastards.
They really are.
But this person is sick. This person is sick. There's something wrong with her.
Yeah.
And it's disturbing. I just wanted to read that because there's additional reporting in there by Larissa Brown.
Right.
So I wonder whether there's one with a pro Josie Cunningham agenda and one with a con.
Yeah.
Because it starts out as like, oh,
She's
this is her
fantastic. She's done all
background, blah,
this.
blah, blah. And then like halfway through takes a really dark turn.
And then it goes... Yeah, it's kind of like she's fantastic. She did all this. She was going to go into the Navy. And then she got depressed and then she got a boob job on the NHS and then she turned into a cunt. It's just kind of like... yeah, it just goes horrible, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I do like the snide comments in there.
This is it. It's why I'm not entirely sure where they're... Because it's a massive puff piece about her.
Yeah.
It's a big biographical article. But at the same time, they're really kind of laying it on as to how fucked up she is.
This is the original article that caused all the outrages.
Yeah.
And I think it's this... They wrote it to become a big viral article.
Yeah.
I imagine it probably wasn't quite as bad as they made out. I'm sure there's some, like you say, fluffing in there. I'm sure they've made it seem a lot worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking horrible. But I'm sure they've made it seem a lot worse than it is, turned into a scapegoat. And like you say, I reckon they probably... did it on purpose to try and help her career.
True. I mean, it's so duplicitous.
Is she gonna have a career?
I can't see it. I mean, who on Big Brother anymore has a career?
I'm just waiting for her to go on This Morning and talk to Katie Hopkins.
Josie Cunningham speaks on Daybreak about NHS implants. Yeah, although it's not about the kid though.
No, she needs to go on This Morning.
Yeah, this is true. With what's her face? Kate. Oh, can you imagine that? A cunt off.
And Katie Hopkins will be the one in the right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. Let's not have her on This Morning. Now, the Metro a day later actually said that the makers of Big Brother have said that she won't be appearing on the show.
Good.
Yeah, they've. There's the actual. The actual quote.
I read the first 2 words.
Josie is deluded if she thinks she will improve her chances of signing up. We were slim to non-existent to start with. How can we ever work with her or pay her if she admits having an abortion to achieve that? It would be a minefield.
To be fair, yes, I think like the Big Brother producers would come under huge fire if they let her in.
Yeah,
like all the big pressure groups would be fucking right on them.
It would be insane, wouldn't it?
They would get cancelled, regardless of the fact they're on Channel 5 and nobody fucking watches that channel.
No one
anyway.
watches it, and no one gets famous off it either. So and all the lads mags are closing down. So.
The only people that got famous of it, 2 maybe, and they were in the first or second series.
Yeah,
Craig
what's his face?
He gave all his money to charity or
Yeah,
to that,
and then had
Down syndrome girl.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah.
he? He won it and he gave all the money to
That's
that.
right. Yeah,
and,
I'd forgotten about that.
And Brian Dowling.
Yeah, who became a TV presenter as well.
Because he's genuinely funny and a
Yeah.
personality. It's the first 1 or 2 series of Big Brother. The first series of Big Brother, yes, it was a reality show and they knew what it would become, but it was a psychological experiment.
Yeah, a genuine experiment in social.
Yeah, it was a televised
sciences.
experiment. And then
And
they
then-
started adding challenges, and then they started doing. It was just literally, let's see how these people behave together in a house. There are no challenges. There are no. They might have done a few to win food.
I think so. Yeah,
Or
like
to get luxuries.
luxuries.
They got enough food.
Yeah.
For the week, and then they could win luxuries.
Yeah.
Whereas it turned into a thing. You have to win your food.
Yeah. We're going to starve you and pit you against each other.
We're going to split the house in half and have half living the life of luxury and half like living like prisoners, and they're going to be bars so you can see each other. And if you try and pass each other food, you will get punished.
Yeah.
It turned into
And
something
then,
horrible.
Like the later series as well, just put in freaks. People who were so polar opposites of each other that they were bound to cause conflict and make each other insane.
Yeah, like you get the I'm a big flamboyant gay and I love this and I like
And
to.
they put
And
them
then the
in
next
with, like-
VT of the guest is I fucking hate gay
Yeah.
people. I don't know if I see one I'll smack them. It's like let's put them together.
Yeah, what a good idea. Let's have a live on-air murder.
Yeah.
You know, that's the next thing.
Here's a big flamboyant gay person with an extreme homophobic. Let's see how they get on. How
That'll
the
be
fuck
fun.
do you think they're gonna get on?
It's
Turns out the person who was really homophobic isn't actually that homophobic and just said it to get in there, and the big flamboyant gay isn't actually that flamboyant.
no.
And actually, they get on and they're best friends now. And it wasn't as exciting because people know they're looking for that sort of thing, so they play it up to the cameras.
Yeah, of course they do.
Ugh.
Yeah. I hope, but I can't see it happening, that reality TV eventually does just fuck off.
Dies out.
Yeah, and people come up with some actual original ideas for, comedy or drama or something like that. And even light entertainment, quiz shows, whatever, just put more of that on. I don't need 24 hours of watching some people sat in a house sleeping.
Do they do the 24-hour stream anymore?
I have
or is it only
absolutely
on the
no
website
idea.
now?
I'd imagine it's probably only on the website, if I'm honest.
Because that was what E4 used to be, wasn't it? Was
Yeah,
it E4?
one of the Channel 4 spin-off channels was pretty much just Big Brother all the time.
24-hour live stream.
Yeah. But even at night, when there was nothing on Channel 4, they'd put the live stream on for a few hours.
Watch them in bed.
Yeah, watch people sleep. Freakish.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, we've talked about that for a half hour now.
That's good. That's fine.
But and I know that we've talked about her for half an hour, but it's just quite interesting, really, like the fucked upness of this person. And like, I know that other podcasts haven't gone quite as into it as that.
No.
And I think the full story needed to be told, because I was reading through it the other day and I was just like, this just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Like down and down and down. And
did you see the pictures they chose though? If you, in the Mail article.
Yeah.
If you look at the top where they're saying, "Oh, she was a lovely child, she was blah blah blah, this and that," and they chose a really nice picture of her
just showing
a baby
pregnancy.
bump, and
she's
nice.
all dressed in white. She's got blonde
She
hair.
looks quite respectable.
Yeah.
And then when they start slating her, they show this horrible picture of her with big fish lips, her boobs popping out, and
tattoos on show, fake nails.
Yeah, they're really just sort of like.
It really emphasises everything about it. And then later on, they've got one of the pictures of her as younger, but
she just looks like a young.
And then they've got the scan picture, which
obviously.
of course she put up on her own website, but still, yeah, it's all conditioned, but
Of course it is.
Horrific.
Of course it is.
Absolutely horrific. Did you have anything a bit lighter?
Yeah, but the thing is, I thought this morning I didn't actually have anything that was kind of funny.
Right.
Although I have, I suppose, for the end. No, but there's in Argentina, the biggest dinosaur.
Oh
ever
yes,
has been
yeah,
found,
I just
a new
saw this
dinosaur.
on the Facebooks this morning.
And it's based on its huge thigh bones. It was 40 meters long and 20 meters tall.
It's quite big.
It's quite big, isn't it? Yeah, weighing in at 77 tons. It's like how?
So I'd imagine this is probably like a brachiosaurus or something.
It
like
is
that.
a type.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's.
It's a four-legged.
It is
long
on four legs, long tail, long neck. Yeah, it is definitely. Yeah, it was a herbivore, but it's 77 tons. as heavy as 14 African elephants. Now, the way they estimate its weight is by taking its... What do they take? They took one of its bones.
Yeah.
Is it its thigh bone? And they measure the length and the circumference.
And they can guess how much weight that bone would
Yeah,
support.
but there's other people later on in the article that say you got to take that with a grain of salt because there are other ways people estimate as well, and you can never be entirely sure.
Well, no, I mean...
Until you have a full skeleton, which they don't have, unfortunately. But yeah, it was found in...
Argentina somewhere, wasn't it?
A local farm worker stumbled on the remains in the desert near La Flecha, about 250 kilometres west of Trelew.
Yeah.
Patagonia.
Ah, Patagonia, right.
Yeah. The fossils were then excavated by a team of paleontologists from the Museum of Paleontology. And then there's some
stuff.
Words that I can't pronounce because they unearthed a partial skeleton of 7 individuals, about 150 bones in total, all in remarkable condition. A BBC Natural History Unit film crew was there to capture the moment. The scientists realised exactly how big their discovery was. And there is a video above. What is it? This is from the BBC News website, actually. And there's a video above, obviously, of them talking about it. But, yeah, it's huge. They haven't got a name for it yet.
No.
Because it's just been discovered. Oh, well, as of this article, I don't know if they have today, but they're going to take the farmer's name into account and where it was found.
I see, Because that's what I quite like about science, when they come up with the names for new things. It's always about the people who've discovered them or...
Let's see if you can tell where this one's from. This is the one that was found. It's fairly recent as well, in the last few years, I think. The previous record holder, which was 70 tons. So it's 7 tons less. It's called the Giganotosaurus.
Oh, right. Okay.
The one before. So
that's probably where...
Yeah, you've got to imagine that was the one that was found in Argentina.
Because the thing is, they went on and on with these massive dinosaurs. They kept giving them bigger and bigger names. So they got to, I think they called one Gigantosaurus.
Yes.
Didn't they? And then they found bigger ones in Argentina.
Yeah.
And now they found an even bigger one again. So Gigantosaurus not quite as gigantic as they thought, perhaps.
But now the Gigantosaurus sounds bigger than the Argentinosaurus.
Yeah, exactly. It's a misleading name. They should downgrade Gigantosaurus.
Not quite as Gigantosaurus as we thought.
A bit like the way they took Pluto's planet status away from it.
That was Neil deGrasse Tyson, wasn't it?
I think so. Arsehole.
Well, it's not a planet, is it? It's 2 rocks orbiting each other.
I don't care. It's been a planet all the way
It's
through
not even 2 rocks, it's 1 rock and 1 block of ice, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should downgrade the Gigantosaurus. They should give it a new name that isn't quite so gigantic.
Yeah.
Like the, I don't know, quite big Asaurus.
There we go.
Sorry.
Dr. Paul Barrett, a dinosaur expert at London's Natural History Museum, which is an awesome place. I love that place. Agreed the new species is a genuinely big critter. Isn't a critter a small?
Critter normally like, rodents.
Yeah. But there are a number of similarly sized big sauropod thigh bones out there, he cautioned. Without knowing more about this current find, it's difficult to be sure. One problem with assessing the weight of both the Giganotosaurus and the news discovery is that they're both based on very fragmentary specimens. No complete skeleton is known, which means the animal's proportions and overall shape are conjectural. Yeah. Now that is the thing, they've done that before where they've built up was it
the iguanodon?
Yeah, the iguanodon.
That was one that was found in Kent, actually, because the iguanodon appears on the coat of arms for Kent, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there used to be a model of it in the Maidstone Museum.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. But they...
built it wrong.
Yeah, because they found one of the thumb bones, which was just a big spike, and they thought it was a nose spike.
Yeah.
And they had it walking on all 4s, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then they realised, after reconfiguring it a little bit, that actually it walked on 2 legs some of the time, and those were its thumbs.
Yeah, because I think they only had one. Did they have one spike, or did they have 2 different sized ones?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember, but yeah, they built it wrong. I mean, the one they had in Mason Museum was the model.
One. Yeah.
But yeah, because they do, it's quite a regular thing, I suppose. It's the difficulty of archaeology, I suppose, paleontology.
Yeah, is that you have no idea, unless you find
bones.
one like that Velociraptor skeleton in Jurassic Park, where it was all
perfectly
preserved. You have no idea how they were, if it's just scattered remains, you have no idea how that was, you've got to come up with that yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, so new dinosaur. It just surprised me that they still find new species these days.
Yeah, I know. It's quite.
Was this one 100 million years old?
Right. I'm just trying to think what
period it is.
What period that comes under.
Is it 100 million? Yes. This giant herbivore lived in the forests of Patagonia between 95 and 100 million years ago, based on the age of the rocks in which its bones were found. I'm sure it did say where it was.
What, like whether it was the Cretaceous or the Triassic or
whether it was like most dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, not in the Jurassic era.
It's very true.
But Cretaceous Park doesn't have the same ring to it,
that's
does
the
it?
thing. Michael Crichton did have the knack of a good title, didn't he? I suppose, being an author, you know.
But yeah, so it doesn't say what period it was, and
but quite exciting because
maybe
a
Keith will
new
be able to tell us.
gigantic dinosaur has been found. Yeah, perhaps, or maybe it's just like a mutation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you want to see? Because you haven't seen it yet, have you? It's not a great picture, to be fair. It's quite small on the phone. But the new Bat Suit and the Batmobile.
Oh yeah. People have been talking about this.
But I can't really see it that well.
No.
On the phone, it's very dark anyway.
So it is.
But it looks like it's a grey suit, like a charcoal grey.
Yeah, and it's got the
black bat symbol on
it's got the
chest,
small ears of the Frank Miller.
which is most people's problem
Dark
with it,
Knight
apparently.
Returns. Oh really?
Yeah, people don't like it.
But then
That's the best.
yeah, that's the best
Batman.
iteration of Batman there's been in the last 30 years.
And the Batmobile is interesting because he posted a teaser. There was a teaser Batmobile posted.
Yeah.
Picture of just the back end of it. It had the big tumbler wheels.
Okay.
And then when they posted this one, you see the front of it looks more like the Tim Burton that sort of Batmobile.
Right.
So it looks like it's going to look like a drag racer.
Right. Okay.
Basically, it's going to have massive back wheels and it's going to be long.
It's going to be long.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's the back
see.
wheels,
Yeah. I see.
That's the
Righto.
teaser picture.
Okay.
And then the front, you've got this. There's a colorized version of the picture somewhere as well.
Is there now?
And that you can tell a lot more. That's probably a better picture there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a colorized version of it as well. You can basically faintly see the bat symbol on his chest.
Yeah, I see. Oh, and it looks like the Frank Miller version as well.
Yeah.
Righto.
Oh,
So
it
is
looks like
this
the front wheels are actually tumbler wheels as well? Just looks like the cockpit's more like the Burton mobile.
Yeah, the Batmobile.
But it does look interesting, and it's amazing how many people have come out now saying that looks amazing.
Yeah,
this is going to be
no, I know.
fantastic, and it's just like, did you
Yeah.
not hate Ben Affleck a little while ago?
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we said at the time, keep an open mind about it.
Yeah.
We said I'm sure he'll do a good job. So
So the suit's right.
yeah, the Batmobile looks quite good. I mean,
It does look pretty cool.
It does look all right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's 2 years until it comes out anyway, so it's probably all going to change.
Well, that looks pretty final, doesn't it? To be fair.
I suppose.
But yeah, that is awesome. That suit does look really cool.
Yeah.
And the Batmobile looks really cool to me. It's fucking Batman.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who plays him. Doesn't matter, who's directing it. It's going to be cool. I don't care.
And Ben Affleck got a great chin for a cow.
He does. Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily,
This was
there's no chin
another thing
guard.
I'm pretty sure we said about
Yeah.
was that actually he's got the right facial features for
He definitely
having a cowl on over
and
his face.
especially for the older Batman as well.
Yeah. Sod it. It's
Amazing.
going to be good. It's going to be good.
brilliant.
I'm not sure so much about the actual film itself.
See, the thing is, I'm really excited about this. My favourite books at the minute are the X-Men, the Amazing X-Men. It's the new Avengers actually, and the Amazing X-Men I've been reading as well.
Yeah.
Now I love the X-Men comics now,
Yes.
like just recently. Last night I saw in the cinema. I saw a trailer for the new X-Men, and meh.
I know what you mean.
Liz watched it, and Liz was watching. She goes, "How can you not be excited about that?" I was like, "Meh."
I'm not.
Blue
That's the thing.
Sentinels.
Yeah.
They look to me like Mr. Freeze. They got the glass. They look like they got glass stone heads.
Yeah.
There's a mic there. Tom.
Sorry, that's awful, isn't it? I do
But
apologise.
the Sentinels, I'm not excited about. I'm not excited about them all going back in time. I'm not excited about who goes back in time.
I'm also not overly excited about having so many actors in it.
So many known actors.
Yeah. And it's just like
Doesn't do it for me. I'm not excited about
The
it.
thing
I
is,
love the X-Men.
as we were saying just before we started recording this, I'd watched First Class for the first time last night just to see if it piqued my interest to go and see Days of Future Past. And it hasn't really. I just don't care about the X-Men that much, really, if I'm quite honest with you. I think it's been overdone.
Yeah, the films.
Yeah.
Who was it who was listening to and they were talking about it in the recent podcast? So many people talk about these things.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing with listening
They
to...
were discussing, and the X-Men, I think it was Weekly Geek Speak.
Right.
They were discussing the merits and stuff of the X-Men series as it's been so far and how they change continuity from film to film.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, and...
For instance, you know what happens at the end of First Class?
Yeah, yeah.
Like how Charles ends up in his wheelchair.
Yeah.
Right, so that happens. Now, Mystique is introduced in this film, isn't she?
Yeah.
You've watched it more recently than me.
Yeah.
She's
That's
introduced to Charles in this film,
Yeah.
or is she already at the school?
No, she breaks into his house and they've known each other since they were children.
Right. So she's only just got into the school in that film, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly. Now, in the trailer for Days of Future Past, I noticed Charles Xavier running at Magneto. And Mystique is in the film as well.
Yeah.
But Mystique...
No,
how...
Mystique was there the whole time.
Oh,
like
she
I
was?
say, Mystique was there from when he was a child. They grew up together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, how... Unless they went back in time before...
But that's what
his
I think it's going to be
accident.
quite all over the place, I think.
Yeah,
this film
it's
is going to
just
be
gonna
quite
be
a mess.
messed up.
But also they've said that there's certain bits that they have taken from the previous films that are going to be canon and certain things that they're just going to ignore and change. It's
Yeah.
like, well,
I'm
how?
not-
How can you do that?
That's the thing, I'm not excited by it.
I know
but
that
will
it's a
watch
time
it.
travel film, and the biggest examples of some of these have been the Terminator films. Where
Yeah.
you're like, when Terminator Salvation came out, I was like, no, I don't know, because
I haven't seen
it's
it.
fucked around with everything, and Terminator 3 wasn't very good, and they kind of discounted everything that happened in
That's
3.
it. I watched Terminator 3 and then went, nah, I'm
Yeah,
not bothering
no,
with
Salvation actually I really liked
Oh, really?
in the end, but it took me a little while to come round to it.
Okay.
Actually, I preferred it more on the small screen than I did seeing it in the cinema.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't really like it in the cinema, but I watched it again at home and preferred it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's that whole thing of like, oh yeah, well we can discount this because like we're going back in time and changing things that happened in the films that came after, so
Right.
they didn't exist anymore. It's
Oh,
that
okay.
kind of. I think
Ugh.
it's going to be that kind of thing where like you can watch all the X-Men films in order, and because the last one is all time travel-y,
We've changed
they
everything.
can change bits so it doesn't actually necessarily have to exist.
fuck that.
You know, I think it's that kind of thing. And
Yes,
I think
we fucked
that's-
up. This is us fixing
Yeah,
it.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. But to fix it,
like
we
I
have to
say,
make a meh film.
I wasn't that bothered about First Class, if I'm honest.
That's the thing. It's one
It
of
was
those.
all right.
I enjoyed it when I watched it, and I did
Yeah.
like the way they done stuff. But in retrospect, it does make you go when you look back on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Just give it all back to Marvel.
I'll watch
Let
it,
them do
but
it.
I will watch it.
Yeah, I probably will. I
Not at
wanted
the
to go
cinema.
and see Godzilla this week, and I know you've seen Godzilla.
Yeah,
I
I
went
have.
on Wednesday. I went down on Wednesday to watch Godzilla, and it didn't come out until Thursday.
Yeah.
Which is weird because most big films have come out on the Wednesday recently,
Yeah.
so that they get that extra footfall of Orange Wednesday on their opening week.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Godzilla opened on a Thursday, so I ended up having to go and see Bad Neighbours because I'd seen everything else.
Yeah.
And that's a Seth Rogen and Zac. It's the first Zac Efron film I've ever seen
Right.
in my life.
Oh, okay.
And I think he, especially in that film, he sets an impossibly high standard for men to live up to, body shape.
Oh, yeah.
It's
He's
just
one of
insane. No one should be that muscular.
No.
I went a little bit. I couldn't. The thing is, it took me out of the film because I
Yeah.
kept staring at his chest and his biceps. It was really
I
weird.
think Tom's got a secret man crush on
It
Zac
was a bit
Efron.
strange. It was a bit. I felt confused by it. But actually, it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. It was actually, there were quite a few good moments. There was a lot in the middle that didn't need to be there.
Right, yeah.
It went really slow and really quite like it got quite disengaging. And it's one of those films in the kind of recent slew of comedy films where they just improvise everything and then they edit around the
Oh, okay, yeah,
improvisations
yeah.
to make a more coherent thing.
Zac
But you
Efron
can,
improvising.
yeah,
Ooh.
you can tell that there's a lot of improvisation and there's not a lot of script
Oh, okay.
in certain points. And Seth Rogen can get away with it. Seth Rogen is genuine. I really
if
like
Seth Rogen gets lost, he just has to laugh.
Exactly.
And then
But yeah, no, it was enjoyable, more enjoyable and more funny than I thought it was going to be. It still doesn't mean that's a good thing. It's a good movie.
So it wasn't a totally wasted
No,
journey.
it wasn't completely wasted. But I would have preferred to have seen Godzilla, but I haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week, maybe.
Yeah, I will try and get around to seeing it before
Okay.
next week because I know that you went to see it, and I wish we could talk about it. But that's why
So
we
do
talked
I.
about Josie Cunningham for half an hour instead.
But with the Godzilla thing, I went to see it in 3D because we went to a barbecue, and if we wanted to go and see it in 2D, which I did want to see it in 2D, I would have preferred to, then we would have had to have left the barbecue really early. So it's another one of those things where the 3D
Right.
showing is on at the peak time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, again, I don't think 3D detracts from the films at all.
Sure.
It doesn't distract me or anything,
No.
but it doesn't necessarily add. There are some bits where it is really cool.
I'm sure.
Like there's one point where Bryan Cranston's looking into a window with a light behind him and it's dark outside, so there's a reflection in the window.
Okay.
And you've got him and then the window, and then you get the depth of
him
his
again.
reflection
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. And that's really cool. And there's a bit where the camera's panning up and it pans past a car mirror.
Right.
And you can see the background, and it's really good. Like they're just little touches that look really good.
Yeah.
And they'll do it in 2D, but you get the depth
Yeah.
in the mirror. And
That's
I think
what 3D is good at.
they do use 3D really well to do
Right.
some tricks in this film. But again, it's not necessary. But it doesn't take anything away from
Yeah.
the film. But it doesn't necessarily add anything either.
Yeah.
It's just
It's just there,
there.
if you want it. Yeah.
And I wear glasses anyway, so putting another pair on over the top doesn't affect me.
Yeah. I mean, if it's on in 3D, so be it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it, but whatever.
But yeah, I'm not going to give much of a verdict at the minute.
Okay. I've heard things about it
Yeah.
that make me not so.
I think people are expecting a lot
yeah.
more of
This
it.
is also another reason I wanted to see it on Wednesday as well, because I hadn't heard anything about it by that point.
Yeah.
And now I have heard things about
I
it.
think one thing I probably will say is I've not seen any of the original Japanese Godzilla
Mm-hmm.
films. But to me, it kind of, I would imagine it has more of that feel to it.
Yeah, that's
than
what
a
I
Hollywood
like.
film.
Yeah, that's what I like, the look of this version of Godzilla rather than
Yeah,
the 90s
it's-
version, because
It's very disjointing because I've not seen them, so I'm not used to
Sure.
that. But
right.
yeah, I enjoyed it. One thing I did say to Liz though, when she went, she said Godzilla at some point in the like as we were going in. I said, no. If you say it, you've got to say it with a Japanese accent.
Godzilla!
You have to go Godzilla, or something like that, Godzilla. And the first time his name was said in the film,
Is it
this
by
guy
the,
goes and they called
it's
him.
by that fella, isn't it?
Yeah,
What's his
they
name?
go and they called him Godzilla, and Liz just looked at me and laughed. I was like, I fucking told
Told
you.
ya. Yeah.
You have to say it with the accent. But yeah, wow.
I'm going to save this for next time.
Oh yeah, we saved this for this time.
Yeah, I know.
And then we started talking about films. I had a thing that was kind of funny. Oh, Norton's performing background tasks. I haven't disabled that since fixing my laptop.
Oh, well. At least it's working properly,
Yeah.
hopefully. Haven't noticed any sound issues with this week's episode. We're hoping there are none.
Yeah.
We're aware of the sound issues we've been having recently, and we have no idea how to fix them, except
No.
for to leave things running
It
for
just seems,
hours
yeah.
before we start
I
recording.
turned my laptop on at home, drove up here with my laptop running, almost running the battery out by the time I got here. But it seems to have
seems
worked.
to be working. So this is hopefully the first time in a little while we'll have had no glitches.
Yeah. So, hopefully.
Sorry, I was padding while you were
that's
finding
cool.
your thing.
That's nice work.
Thank you.
And you've just drawn attention to it. We've gone back to the BuzzFeed list because I haven't
not?
seen them for a while. Phil sent us one,
Yes, he did.
which we were probably going to talk about, but it seems like the journalist himself kind of made a lot of stuff up. It didn't seem genuine.
Yeah. Also, it might have seemed a bit passive aggressive
Yeah.
towards a certain group of people.
Yeah. Anyway, passive aggressiveness. So, 38 questions that will destroy your faith in humanity. Now, these are, Yahoo Answers, Yahoo Questions website.
Yes.
You know when you type something into Yahoo, and that's into Google, and one of the first things that comes up is usually a Yahoo question. And you go in there because somebody's asked the question.
Yeah.
And then somebody answered, like, I don't know.
Righto.
And that's the answer, and you're like, brilliant. Why did you
Okay,
fucking
great.
answer then?
Thanks for that.
But this is the questions that people ask on Yahoo Questions. There's like 38. I'm going to try and filter them as I'll go along, which I meant to do last night, but I went to see Godzilla.
That's fair enough.
This is a resolved question, apparently. There's no links to the answers, which I really want to see. But is there a spell to become a mermaid that actually works? Genuine question. Right, that's the title.
Right.
Now you think, oh, someone's fucking about. I would like to know if there is a spell to become a mermaid, one that works. I'm asking people that believe in mermaids. Don't say things like mermaids don't exist, because I take it very seriously and I find it offensive. Capital letters, please help me find a spell. By the way, I'm also a witch. Genuine question.
What the hell?
Oh.
I love this. This reminds me of a game that I was supposed to start playing on this podcast at some point.
Oh, yeah. Are skeletons real or made up?
What?
My friend's mum says that she was once chased by a skeleton, but I don't believe. But I don't think skeletons are real. Please help me.
Skeletons
oh my
aren't
God.
real.
Now these ones are titled number 4, 5, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's titles that the article gives them, and so you've got 4 is that's not how it works. Number 5 is that's not how it works. Number 6 is all capital letters. That's not how it works. Okay. First question: what if the girl that thinks I'm the dad isn't the mum? I slept with a girl. Now she's pregnant. There's 2 possible fathers, and neither of us think it's us.
This sounds like something for Jeremy.
What if
Kyle.
she's really not the mum to begin with? What if will it be another child? Will it be another guy's child? That's
what?
why this question's called "That's Not How It Works."
So, okay.
Yeah, because there's 2 possible fathers.
Yeah.
Neither of them believe they're the father.
Yeah, so what if that isn't-
what if she isn't the mum? Then that means neither of us can be the father.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not how it works. How am I sure if I'm the real mum of my kid? I just had a baby and it looks more like the man I had my baby with. It doesn't look like me at all, and I'm scared that he was cheating on me with another lady. And I had her kid. The child is the best thing that has ever happened to me, and I can't imagine giving my baby to the real mum. How do I know?
Oh my God. Maybe Josie Cunningham isn't such a weird bitch after all.
I mean, that question is like, is that a woman really that insecure?
That's weird, isn't it?
That's like a real insecurity thing, isn't it? Now, question 6, that's not how it works in all capital letters. I don't know if my daughter is mine. I gave birth to her, but I'm not sure if it's my boyfriend cheating on me and I had his other girlfriend's baby. Can someone help? People genuinely are questioning the maternal...
Not even just their maternal instincts.
No,
it's
not
the
maternal,
fact
the
that
actual
they've-
maternal...
their own motherhood.
Yeah.
That's just odd.
Your mind just
yeah,
exploded,
yeah.
didn't it?
I don't understand that. I mean, I get how like postnatal depression can
That could be...
can kind of form a barrier. But
That's for the mum questions, but the one with
yeah,
the blokes questioning...
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
He's
at all.
just an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Is this a trick question? How do I unbake a cake? That's it. This one's amazing. I swallowed an ice cube whole and I haven't pooped it out. I'm really scared. Is it stuck?
That's gotta be a joke. Surely.
I don't know. This one's terrifying. Did I turn my boyfriend into a vampire?
Ooh.
This is a fairly long and disturbing one. This is one I did
Okay.
read. Okay, so I have a new boyfriend. Yay. And we have been seeing each other for about a month now.
Go
Anyway, the other night we had a Twilight marathon. I love Twilight. This is in brackets. So I'm inflecting.
Yeah, do it.
And the dream of mine is to have a vampire boyfriend.
God. I've
I've been
people like this.
experimenting with eating my own blood ever since the Twilight books first came out. I consider myself to be a vampire now. Technically, yes. I mean, vampires eat blood. You haven't got fangs and you're not eternal blood.
No, yeah.
But there are people who call themselves vampires who drink blood.
Yeah. Probably not their own, though.
I usually, to save the blood I lose naturally each month.
Oh.
I usually just keep tampons in the freezer, etc.
Feel a little bit ill now.
And suck on them or eat them later. I decided that I would try and turn my new boyfriend. So I've been cooking my blood into his food when he comes over. I have tried making blood pudding as well, but that only works if I've had a heavy flow. You need a lot of blood. So I usually just add a little bit of blood into his marinade or pasta sauce. He has absolutely no idea. I've been doing this for about 3 to 4 weeks. Do you think he would be a vampire by now?
I always said the fucking Twilight films were awful and they were bad for people.
I'm going to raise a question.
Yes. How many? Just one?
Yeah, well... she's been cooking his food with blood for 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first line?
Yeah.
They've been seeing each other for about a month.
Yeah.
Now let's imagine this is a 5-week month and not just a 4-week month. So they've been going together for about a week before she started putting her menstrual blood in his food. I'm trying to put it in a scientific term.
Yeah. I don't know whether it makes it worse. That's fucking creepy. Like, if he finds out about that, if you found out about that, like, you know, say it's a couple of months down the line and she's kind of looking at you all kind of longingly and stuff one night and you're like, what are you looking at? And she's like, well, I'm just wondering if you've started to grow canines or just wondering if you're a bit paler than the other week. And you're like, why would you say that? She says, nothing. No, really, why would you say that? No, it's fine. No, please, just
tell me.
Just tell me why you're looking at me like that. And she's like, well, I kind of want you to be a vampire like I am.
Yeah.
And I thought it might have happened by now.
Why would it happen? Yeah.
Well, because I've just been trying to make you a vampire for a few weeks.
How have you been doing? What?
It's nothing weird. Like, I've not been biting your neck while we're asleep or anything like that.
I think I would have noticed if you had. Yeah. But...
It's just I've been tried another way that wasn't biting. It's just kind of just cooking food with blood.
Sorry?
I've just been putting an extra ingredient in the food.
Like?
Blood.
Oh, where have you been? Blood? Like what animal blood?
No, my own blood.
Well, I've not noticed any scars or anything in you. But...
No. No, not my. No, it's
please,
blood from my menstrual blood.
I think I'm gonna go home.
That's how that would go.
Like, well, I think I might have toned it down a little bit. I imagine candles and things, so I kind of brought the tone down a bit. I didn't want to take it too extreme.
Oh man.
This question's brilliant. Why do crocodiles walk so gaily? They walk like they've gotten their nails done or something.
All right.
Yeah, weird one. I mean, that was question 16, and there's 38 of them.
Maybe we should post the rest on the website.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, that's mental. There's one where somebody's questioning. Oh fuck! Where's it gone? Just a quick one. We'll leave it. We should have left it at the. Oh yeah, can I safely look at a picture of the sun? I know it's bad to look at the sun, but what if I took a picture of it with my phone? Would it still ruin my eyes?
Oh my goodness. This entire episode has been about stupid people.
I'm going to leave the title of this one out.
Okay.
Last year I was a Catholic, but I'm bored with that now. I've been thinking for the next year or so, I'd like to be either Chinese or Russian. How can I change my race? Yes.
If you have answers for any of these people's questions, go to Yahoo and post them some stuff. We'll put the rest of the questions up on the Facebook group and the Twitter and whatever.
Yeah, we'll post the link
and on abhpod.com, where you should visit and
subscribe.
Go to Amazon and subscribe and leave us ratings and stuff on iTunes and all the rest of that.
I mean, it's easy enough to do on abhpod.com. If you click where it says shows or podcasts, I can't remember, I think about it, shows. You click each one and a little iTunes link comes up on the right hand side of each.
And that's where you can subscribe.
Yeah, and just go and subscribe to them there.
But for this special 69th edition of Anywhere But Here, stupid, dumb idiots, and a bit of Godzilla and X-Men thrown in, I have been Tom.
And I've been Ant.
Bye.
69, dudes!